fact that Tim Wise made a comment about Bernie Sanders not understanding race or something to that extent. Something about Bernie Sanders and race and Bernie Sanders and not being in touch.
I want to bring in now Tim Wise. Tim is an anti-racism writer and activist who's the author of Dear White America.
Let's make this clear. I want you to know that Tim Wise is what you would call, or what I would call, a raceologist or raceiatrist, okay? Because he talks about race very in-depthly. He's very detailed. He's very orientated to this subject matter, okay? He's a white man talking about what black people go through, and I respect that. I applaud that he's putting himself in the shoes of black people, or from a vantage point of an educator, philosopher on these issues. And I respect it. And I'm not going to say for a second that he doesn't make some good points. Tim Wise makes some good points. What I'm submitting is that sometimes Tim Wise, dare I say, makes some shit points. Like his constant berating of Bernie Sanders. Constantly berating Bernie Sanders on Twitter. Okay, so Tim Wise says Bernie doesn't know what the F he's talking about. Here, he's clueless about racism except as the residual effect of the class system. This is ignorance. Trump didn't win because of economic anxiety. Every study says that's BS. So that was like one of his comments. God, he made so many. He went on like a tirade about all the stuff that Bernie didn't know. Then he said this. He said, but Bernie doesn't want to address that entitlement mentality among whites, even the working class, and how it gets exploited by the millionaires and billionaires, because saying anything suggestive that the white worker isn't salt of the earth and innocent is too much for him. So as you can see, this one was at 237 and 251. And there are like maybe 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 tweets in between this last comment here. I don't think this was even the last comment. I mean, he just kept going. And everything was about Bernie Sanders. Nothing about Biden, nothing about Elizabeth, nothing about anybody. Just all critiques about how Bernie doesn't understand the blacks. Now, this was my response to him. Tim Wise, my response to Tim Wise, and I'll tell you why it's important in a minute. I said, Tim, I hear you, but my friend, we don't need performative unity, solidarity, and soaring rhetoric. We need tangible policies which improve the condition of black folks. Is Bernie about that life? Yes. Will his policies do that? Yes. More so than any other. That's what matters. I stand behind that statement. Okay? I stand behind that statement. I believe it to be true. That, yeah, I would love for Bernie to talk more about race, and I'd love for him to talk more about how white people get it wrong, and how white people, a lot of white people are bigoted, a lot of poor whites blame poor blacks, and it's just a domino effect of just blaming poor people because they have darker skin than yours, and you've been conditioned by racism in America to do this crap, right? I would love for Bernie to talk more about that stuff. I mean, that would be really cool. But you know what I would love more? I would love more for there to be some policies implemented in this country that changes the condition of poor black folks. That would lift us up off the bottom. That would give us the opportunity to have like futures that don't involve the criminal justice system. That's what I would love more. I would love more for there to be more jobs and more opportunity, more growth, and more health and more wealth and longer lifespans. Like, these are things I want more. I want them more than I want Bernie to hacksaw his coalition about issues that we ain't been able to get them to understand for 200 years. Like, there are some people that they're just not going to get it. You can't expect a presidential candidate to do all the lifting. That's why there's a Tim Wise. That's why there's a Cornel West. That's why there's a Tim Black, dare I say. That's why there's a Dr. Sandy Darity, a Dr. Cornel West. I'm assuming you're a Dr. Tim Wise. I don't know. But I don't think we should expect politicians to do it all. You don't expect Trump to do anything. What do you expect Trump to do? Nothing, right? Of course. Of course, the sitting president we expect nothing of. You didn't expect Obama to do anything, as Sean was pointing out. Hey, Sean, did you think Tim Wise expected Obama to do anything? I wonder how critical Tim Wise was of Obama. I don't know. But you get my point here. There's a lot of selective criticism for Bernie, and it's only going to get worse. This is only going to be more of this selective, harsh, over-the-top criticism. Some of it valid-ish, but most of it not at all. So, and here goes my real-life experience with Tim Wise. I saw Tim Wise at Politico. I saw him at Politico. We were both participants in Politico. I was on the platform. He was on the platform. Before Politico, when I realized that Tim Wise was going to be at the platform, it was because listed on the Politico website, we were 1-2, like beside each other in the listing, because it went by first name. So it was Tim Black, then Tim Wise. And I was like, that's the guy, Tim Wise. Then when I looked for my name, sometimes he'd come up because he talks about black issues so much that even though he's a white guy, he comes up as Tim Black. He comes up in the Tim Black search. But here's my point, guys. When I saw Tim Wise in Politico, he didn't even speak to me. And we were in a VIP section where there were only like 10 people. You know who also didn't speak to me? Zelina Maxwell. You know who talked down their nose to me? April Ryan. And Yamish, or Yamichi, whatever, how you pronounce it, I don't know that. Yeah, like, who are you with? Are you with CNN or MSNBC? Ooh, oh, you do your own thing? Ooh, oh, God. So, classism does matter. It matters with black people, too. What made you and Zelina Maxwell and Yamichi and all the other cronies who appear on MSNBC and CNN often treat me like garbage? Was it my color? Was it my class? So we're going to see a lot more of this. I'm sure of it. And I don't even want to say Tim Wise is a bad guy. Hey, I'm not saying that at all. I don't know him. But if you're going to make the point that Bernie Sanders and the billionaires and the millionaires, like he doesn't get it. I don't know, man. A lot of people don't get it. One of the things we have to be slow to do is if you're trying to build a coalition, is to not move too fast. You know, Marianne Williamson gave me some good advice, man. She said, if you're 3 steps ahead of people, people don't like you. Because you're moving too fast, they become self-conscious. They feel attacked. But if you're like 1 step ahead, then people will follow you. So sometimes we got to slow down a little bit to let people follow. I mean, unless you just want to play to a small audience. That's what the advice she gave me. I'm giving it to you and I'm giving it to the world. So I'm not so sure the best way to win the presidency and enact the policies that we need enacted in order to better. It ain't going to perfect the field, believe me, bro. I support reparations, by the way. I don't know if you do, Tim Wise. But I support reparations. I don't know if you do, Tim Wise. I support reparations. I don't know if you do, Tim Wise. Before people pigeonhole me and say, oh, he's a sellout, he's a coon, that's why he's defending Bernie. No, okay? But I'm not so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about how everybody's going to kumbaya around making black people equal to say, oh, what the hell, let's go ahead and piss everybody off before we get our policies done. I think we need to get these policies done to kind of lift people up off the bottom a little bit as we kind of try to push them towards some other bigger movements for equality, okay? And similar to how I feel like we should do the local college tuition for everyone, even if rich people won't use it because they're going to go to Stanford anyway. They're going to pay to go to Harvard. They're going to pay to go wherever, private universities. But they should have the option to go into the public community colleges or whatever for free, just like poor folks, because they need to be able to buy into it. So we need to allow people to buy into some of these bigger policies like Medicare for all, like free local college tuition, like $15 minimum wage, job guarantee, federal job guarantees, Green New Deal. We need everyone to buy into that before, because those changes are needed as we move towards more focused legislation. Because if he ran on that, if he ran on reparations as much as I want him to, I don't think America is ready for it. I think America would tune him out, and we end up with Amy Klobuchar talking about Pell Grants instead of talking about free local college tuition. Or we end up with Joe Biden, who said he gut from the rooter to the tutor, Social Security and every other entitlement social safety net in the federal government to help balance the budget without taking a dollar from the military-industrial complex. That's what he said he'd do. So go on your route, make you feel good. Bernie said black 100 times, and Bernie said white people suck. Bernie sound like he gets it. Would be great to hear. And a lot of black folks will be like, yeah, he said that, that's my dog. Meanwhile, we get stuck with Amy Klobuchar because the white people who are not ready to hear it, who Bernie won't have enough time to educate, will go vote for Amy Klobuchar. And we end up without the things we need to lift us up off the bottom, bro. Or at least make the bottom a little further from us, because I get your point, and I do agree that I don't think that these policies are going to definitely change us being lower, but it can make the distance between the bottom and us be a little bit more of a distance, and I got to get something. I got to get something for folks who are suffering and struggling. And that something can come for everybody, not just black folks, but all folks who need it. It just so happens the people that need it most are black folks. And then just so happens is probably not the right way to put that. The people that need it most are black folks. That's intentional, that's structural, that's what institutional racism is. I mean, have you looked at Amy Klobuchar? Have you looked at her background? Have you looked at Joe Biden's background? Did you look at Hillary's background? Did you, I don't know if you have, maybe you have. Classism is a problem. I experience it every day. Every time I deal with somebody like you, who was yet to respond to my tweet, by the way. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolf Pack at patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Also, stay on the lookout for more content at timblacktv.com.